How do you weaken a country without invading it? You weaken it from within. You attack the American dream. You take people's homes. You bury families in paperwork. You destroy small businesses. You turn confusion into profit. And then you make the victim look like the problem. This is not just deed theft. This is not just foreclosure. This is not just a bad loan. This is what I call the fraud ecosystem. It targets people when they are most vulnerable. Elders, disabled people, immigrants, widows, divorcees, small business owners, and families already facing hardship. The house is not always stolen in one day. First, there is confusion. Then, the title gets clouded. Then, fees appear. Payments get questioned. Refinancing gets blocked. Old debts suddenly come back to life. Paperwork is stitched together. And before the homeowner fully understands what is happening, a court case, a sheriff's sale, or a judgment has already moved forward. That is how a family can lose a home even when the paperwork does not add up. Since 2008, millions of Americans have been pushed through foreclosure systems that many people still do not fully understand. Some homeowners describe zombie mortgages, debts they believed were resolved only to see them revived years later. Others describe Frankenstein foreclosures, where old loans, questionable assignments, inflated liens, servicer claims, shell companies, and court filings are stitched together until the system treats them as real. And when victims speak up, they are often ignored, mocked, or told to fight it in court. They are up against banks, servicers, attorneys, investors, and companies with far more power and money. Across the country, people are saying the same things. The lien was fake. The numbers were wrong. The payoff was blocked. The servicer was not the bank. The company foreclosing was not the original lender. The court never looked at the evidence. At what point do thousands of similar stories become a pattern? This is not only about homes. Small businesses are also being crushed through aggressive financing structures, cash advances, judgments, fees, and legal pressure. When a family loses a home, generational wealth disappears. When a business is destroyed, jobs disappear. When abandoned properties spread, neighborhoods suffer. When courts enforce questionable paperwork without real scrutiny, trust in the justice system breaks down. That is why I believe we need a national investigation into deed theft, manufactured foreclosures, fake liens, zombie mortgages, mortgage servicer abuse, shell company ownership, and financial practices that target people in crisis. We need to know who owns the debt, who received the payments, who signed the paperwork, who benefited from the sale, who reviewed the evidence, and who looked away. A deed is more than paper. A home is more than property. Equity is more than money. It is safety. It is dignity. It is legacy. It is freedom. And when that is stolen, the whole country pays the price. This is Stolen City. This is the fraud ecosystem. And it is time to expose it. Follow the paper, follow the money, protect the vulnerable, save the American dream.